Welcome to this week's edition of the Cheap Pop Podcast with K Double and Alpha. Boys, take it away.
The following Four Aces production is for mature audiences only. Listener discretion is highly advised.
Hey, I'm Rick Boogs, baby. Nah, this is Double K. K Double coming at you right now with the Cheap Pop Podcast, and my brother from another mother that's on the side of me, Mr. Alpha. How you doing, brother?
We're doing great tonight. We're back again once again to talk some sweaty fucking men. As always, I have my 40 minutes to talk shit about Sasha Banks. Let's roll.
Why would you want to talk shit? She's just a little sprite fairy that flies around and acts all like tough and
God damn it. She put Paige dead out of action. Never forgiven. She mule kicked that bitch's sixth column out of her fucking spine out of her throat. That shit was brutal.
Yeah, it was. But that's the boss, baby. When you the boss, that's what you do. No.
I may have ended your career, but I'm the boss.
That's what I do. That's what I do. Now, all right. So we are going to talk. Okay. So as we get to the name of what we're going to talk, I'm going to talk about something real quick that I just saw on Facebook like 3 days ago. Somebody shared a Royal Rumble commercial from 2005, I think it was.
Oh boy.
And it had the likes of Big Show, Chris Benoit, Rey Mysterio, I believe Kofi Kingston. But the thing that made it special is the commercial was a spoof of the West Side Story, like Jets versus the
that's fucking
scene. And like, yeah, bro, you see Big Show wearing a toupee. Rey Mysterio has a wig on under the mask. Like it's just one of the most horribly terrific things you could ever see in your life. So I would suggest
definition of that mid-2000s bullshit.
Exactly. Going on Google and typing in Royal Rumble 2005 commercial. I guarantee you'll probably find it on YouTube somewhere. Just Easy. Look it up and just be horrified and happy all at the same time. But anyway, so the Royal Rumble is what we're speaking of. Unfortunately, we're not going to get a Royal Rumble ad for this year with who? Sasha Banks and is Maria and Dolph Ziggler as the male lead.
Yeah.
You know, and then we got, Roman Reigns leading the Jets, like, nah, we ain't gonna get that this year.
Fucking better.
But what we are gonna get is outside of the men's and women's Royal Rumble match, which we'll start there. Let's start with the women's Royal Rumble match. WWE made an announcement that did not get missed by the IWC, that the one and only Impact World Champion, former Divas Champion, or Impact Knockouts Champion, former Divas Champion, the one and only Mickie James, one hell of a fine woman. Mickie James, I can say that name all night.
I don't know about you, but I'm the biggest fucking Mickie James fan in the world.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what she fucking does, I'll always be a fan. But for me, like, I don't know about you, but I probably didn't go like this, but for me, this is how this went, all right? I have a person in my life who's very close to me who is this absolute 110%, I'm not joking with you, believer that we're going to have a wrestling conglomerate merger. Like AEW, Vince's House of of big sweaty men trademark. MLW, New Japan, they're all going to start trading stars with each other and having big shows together and co-ops, and things going to be free in the wrestling world, no borders, right?
Yep.
And so they say shit like that all the time. And it's just like, no, fuck you, not listening.
Yep. No, won't happen. Well, here, okay.
And then I get woken up the other day with Mickie James is going to be in the Rumble, even though she's still Knockouts champion, and Pat McAfee even said she was Knockouts champion, and I was like, you're fucking funny. Mickie James had a big falling out with W a few months ago. I'm going outside.
Okay. Now here was my idea. Is not that the company's become one big conglomerate, right? It was that once a year, all the top promotions should get together for a super show.
Now that I like. Now that's believable though. I can see.
You know what I'm saying? Like I think that would be a better idea than trying to have, because at that point, then all the writers have to be on the same page and all of that. You know, like that gets
there's too many moving parts in that.
Right. But if you have once a year, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be champion versus champion. You know, it can just be, okay, I'm going to take 10 of your most popular wrestlers, whether they're champions or not, 10 of your most popular wrestlers, 10, and we're just going to put together some dream matches. Like, you know what I'm saying? It can be a 3-night card or a 2-night card.
Exactly. Basically, I would imagine exactly structured like the New Japan Ring of Honor, like face-off shows, where it's like no storyline, just, hey, this guy against this dude, let's fuck some shit up. Or this group against this group, go right. And so I think it would be beneficial to wrestling fans. I think it would be beneficial to all of the companies, because all of the companies will get some of their top stars exposure. I think it would create an internal level of competition amongst wrestlers, because if you're not one of those top 10 or 15 by your promoter's standards in that promotion, you're not going to the super show and you're not getting that mega exposure, you know? Exactly.
But like at the end of the day, I think I would rather see that than the conglomerate. But I'm glad to see, and don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah,
we've all said and we've all understood, Vince sits on petty level 1,000 at all times.
100%. Petty level fucking,
so
fucking max.
Tell me why Vince chose to work a deal with Impact Wrestling instead of anybody else.
Exactly.
To open that forbidden door. So like,
exactly.
Yeah. But I'm glad to see that it's my favorite cowgirl.
Yes.
Going to be back in the Rumble to do battle with the likes of Charlotte Flair and all of that.
Best case scenario is though we see her enter with the Knockouts Championship in hand.
Yes.
I think that's best case scenario awesome. In my opinion. Yeah. I think this is already awesome as it is. And if she doesn't, then that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if she comes out with the fucking title in hand, that'll be cherry on top.
And remember, WWE only announced 19 female wrestlers for the Rumble so far.
We've got 11 fucking spots. I would honestly include some of the entrants they've already revealed to be way too big of a surprise. I don't know about you, but I thought last year was Lita's last year.
I think she's like Taker. I think she'll keep coming back until feels like
they say no.
Yeah. Like,
exactly.
You know, Taker I think you want to know just on a side note, you want to know when I think Taker decided to retire?
Goldberg.
I think that match with Goldberg was
when he was dropped on his fucking head, dude. You can, and I think we've only talked about this just a little bit on the show.
Yeah.
And when we talked about Last Ride, we didn't even talk about it very much. But if now is our chance to, I want to say right now, that was the end of The Undertaker.
Yeah.
That when he was dropped on his head, understanding how much damage that did to Taker, like in reality, what that fucking did to his body, like no, I think that single-handedly ended his career. I think we could have gotten a few more years of Taker if he had to force himself to, but I think that was fucking it right there.
Well, I think that and just the way that match, like even Undertaker admits in Last Ride that like that wasn't my best work. Like that was not like work. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that was not me at my A game. You know, and
He definitely is on both their parts. It isn't 100% on Bill Goldberg. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
Don't get me wrong.
No, 100%. No, I'd say even more. It was like 70% Goldberg, because Undertaker showed after that, if you put him in the ring with the right person who can protect him, he can still give you a decent match. You know, the match he gave us with Roman Reigns after that Goldberg match was pretty damn good.
Yeah.
You know, like he, or did their WrestleMania match happen before or after?
No, that was before that. No, after that.
So their
match
WrestleMania
that happened was AJ.
Yeah.
Or AJ was right before that. One or the other.
And so at the end of the day, I think Taker in general, like, he made a smart decision.
Absolutely.
He decided to go out before his body broke down on him, before he had that match that damn near killed somebody because he couldn't go, you know, he stepped away, you know, but he gave us 30 plus years of amazing matches, and just everybody wanted to be the Undertaker.
Absolutely.
At one point in your life, everybody wanted to be the Undertaker.
Every kid's rolled their eyes back and pretended to be the fucking Undertaker, bro. Everyone's done. Everyone wants to be the badass. At one point,
I went out for Halloween as the Ultimate Warrior.
Oh, fuck yeah. That's pretty.
My makeup was fucked because my mom didn't know what she was doing, but God bless her soul, she tried. But it was
actually into it.
it looked more like a Batman symbol on my face than it did the Warriors makeup.
That's pretty funny.
I still told people, I still put on my little bands on my arm. Grr, I'm the Ultimate Warrior.
Did the thing. Yeah.
Yep.
I love it.
So, but okay. So that was the Women's Rumble. So far in the Men's Rumble, the only surprise.
Oh, wait, hold up real quick.
What's up?
With the Women's Rumble, there is, for me, if they're pretty much almost to be betted on at this point. But there is the speculation of Bayley and Paige.
Wow.
I have been
Paige.
If I'm not mistaken, I have been saying it for a while though that Paige is going to be in the Rumble though. I've been saying that for how long? Maybe like fucking 6-7 months now. Paige is going to be in the Rumble. No, like with everyone coming back middle of the year, I was like, nah, Paige is going to be in the Women's Rumble next year.
I was going to say she was just recently cleared.
And now she was cleared. Yeah, no, she was no, she's cleared. No, yeah, she's cleared. Yeah. And now we have Bayley possibly returning for her fucking horrifying ACL injury.
I'm here for it. I would love to see it. 100%.
Oh yeah, and the potential of Alexa Bliss being in the Rumble as well. She had some kind of return a while back, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I want to say last week on Raw they did the segment with the psychologist.
Yeah, that was one. That was her return. Yeah, so I think that was setting up for her to be in the Rumble again, you know.
For sure. I hope they set her up to win it. To be honest,
honestly, I'll take that. If Alexa wins it, I'll take it. I'm with that. I'll take it.
And give me heel Alexa chasing the championship. I'm here for it.
Yeah,
I'm here for it.
If Asuka wins and becomes a 2-time winner, I'll eat my fucking shoes.
Oh hell no! Oh hell no!
I'll fucking go mad. I will go rabid. If that is she's all that matters. That's all that matters. Asuka winning the Rumble 2 times. That's my headcanon. That's where I'm rolling.
So real quick before we jump off the women, you said you watched Raw. Yeah. Did you see that heel turn on Monday?
Yes.
And I'll be honest with you. For once in a long, long time, WWE caught me off guard. I genuinely thought
I didn't bet on it. You're right.
You know, like at the point in which they got to talking, I was like, Rhea gonna get so frustrated, she just gonna kick her. Okay, so this is Rhea's heel turn.
I fucking said.
Like she's just gonna kick her straight in the head.
No, that's word for word. I said she's gonna kick her fucking head off.
Yeah,
word for word.
And then you see Nikki go wham, and I was like, "Get her, Nikki! Get her!
Nikki, not so super villain." I'm into it.
And then I loved her standing there, almost a superhero. Don't need a friend. I was like, yeah.
Oh, it's so fucking good.
Oh man.
No, I'm into this. It's pretty fucking. I kind of like it.
Yeah.
And I do find it interesting now that Alexa and Nikki are both some form of like mentally demented heel. I think that's pretty funny.
I think it'll be amazing to see if they put that tag team back together, but this time as a heel tag team instead of a face tag team.
I kind of like that idea. I'm into that.
I would love to see it. But yeah, so that's the last thing I'll say there. Men's Royal Rumble.
Now let's talk.
Let's talk. There was somebody that I had on my return list. That's did you see that there may be one of the announcers that enters the Royal Rumble?
I was gonna say, first things first, my boy Corey Graves has been officially cleared. And this for me is very, very fucking emotional. Yeah. Because everybody knows I'm a huge black and gold nerd. I was someone who watched it from the very fucking beginning. I was there to see Bo Dallas win the championship. I was there to see Seth Rollins crown. Wow. And I was watching it fucking live when Big E was crowned. That shit was amazing. Love it. That all being said, when Corey Graves officially and publicly retired due to concussions in 2014, 2013.
Was it? Yeah.
No, 2014. It was a fucking hit to the chest because I loved his fucking character so goddamn much.
Yeah.
He was just a very sad CM Punk, for lack of a better term.
You probably felt like I felt when Daniel Bryan retired.
Oh no, I was very sad when Daniel Bryan retired. On the scale of like a D Bry all the way up to Edge, Corey Graves was somewhere in the middle.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, Edge broke my heart because we had just watched him perform at WrestleMania against Del Rio.
Just watched him the night before,
and I'm like, damn, dude, it's over like that. Oh well, hell of a match to go out on. Little did I know, 10 years later.
Right. No, I'm not ashamed to say my little 11-year-old ass cried when Edge retired. I was a little kid. I was like 11 at the time, and I remember it so clearly exactly how I was sitting and where I was at, the time of day, and everything. Because that shit was painful as a kid. I remember that shit. I cried like a little bitch. I wear that with pride because I fucking love Edge.
Edge was one of those ones, whether he was a heel or a good guy, you loved him. You just loved watching him work.
Edge.
Yeah. And so, all right. So, speaking of Edge, he's definitely going to be at the Rumble as well. But in the men's Rumble, so far, like the Street Profits, the only surprise for me is been two surprises. That the Street Profits don't have a tag team match, but they're going to be in the Rumble.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting to watch. And then Jackass star Johnny Knoxville then got his old ass. Like, okay, I would have been all for this when Johnny Knoxville was in like his 30s, his 20s. No, but ain't Johnny Knoxville like damn near in his 50s by now?
Yeah, he's got as much gray hair as Vince right now, man.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry. I say this as the biggest Knoxville mark in the world. I love Johnny Knoxville so fucking much. God, I quote his stupid ass all the fucking time. But that being said, way too old to get in there unless this is going to be like a Drew Carey kind of thing where he comes in and Kane scares the shit out of him and he leaves. Throws himself over the top rope.
No, I think since Johnny is attached to the Jackass film, Johnny's going to do some Jackass shit.
You know, for lack of a better term, some Jackass shit.
Now, I'm assuming that the celebrity participant, because we haven't really had a celebrity participant in a few years. So I'm thinking this may have to do with all the cuts and them not really having a lot of wrestlers on roster, male wrestlers on roster to add in. And unfortunately, Shinsuke Nakamura is out for 4 to 6 weeks. Yeah. He suffered an injury, so we won't be able to hear from Rick Boogs, man.
No more Rick Boogs. It's pain. It's pain. But there's a few bits of speculation, though, in light of hearing about Mickie James getting confirmed. There's been a lot of rumblings of another Impact star, specifically, when I'm saying Impact World Champion, Moose, piping up and getting angry at Roman Reigns. And as I said before the show started, why does everybody always try to start shit with Roman Reigns? Like, I don't know about you, but there's nobody that gets into more Twitter shit online than Roman Reigns, and it's great because all of his fucking quotes are great. The other day was actually, I'm not a religious man, but I say it just to fuck around with people. The other day was the anniversary of Roman's Twitter fucking quote. And someone said some shit about God not being real. And Roman responded with, "Faithless fool, when your time on this earth is done, enjoy nothing." And imagine him saying that is so fucking funny.
Oh, thank you, Roman Reigns. Thank you.
I quote that heavy ass line all the fucking time.
That was amazing. Oh, I wish I had seen that. Oh, makes me want to fall on the floor.
That's great. But
all right. So we got 30 seconds left in this half. Oh. We'll talk some Moose after the break. And we'll just end this half on that note because that was amazing.
Just end on that note.
Prepare for nothing. So, folks, you are listening to the Cheap Pop Podcast right here, or watching us right here on YouTube, or listening to us on Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio. Y'all know where to find us. Y'all know what to do. Peace.
Peace.
You're listening to the Cheap Pop Podcast right here on the 4 Aces Presents Radio Network. Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and wherever you may find your favorite podcasts. It's me, Double KK Double again. This time I'm here to tell you about two of the best sports shows on internet radio. I'm talking about West Coast Bias with me, O'Malley, and The Duel, occasional visits from an original host, Mr. Suave, and Double K's Classroom, hosted by me. Both shows feature sports talk about teams from the West Coast. So if you get down with West Coast sports, these are the shows for you. West Coast Bias airs every other Sunday evening at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and Double K's Classroom airs alternating Fridays at 8 p.m. on the 4 Aces Presents Radio Network on Spreaker.com. Imagine this. It's Friday night. You're at home wishing you can listen to an amazing playlist of some of your favorite music from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. Pop, rock, whatever. Then take out your favorite podcast listening device and tune in to KD5P, otherwise known as K-Double's 5th period music class. Every Friday night from 8 to 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, K-Double brings you some of your favorite tunes live on the 4 Aces Presents Radio Network on Live 365. We are back. That's old. Right. That's right, baby. That silk smooth voice that you just heard. Call your name. Was Double KK Double. And I'm here as always with the sultry brother known as Alpha. And we are here to talk about big sweaty men.
Oh, yeah, brother.
Oh, yeah. Oh, can you dig it? Because the cream, it always rises to the top. Still one of the greatest promos ever.
The greatest promo ever. Maybe next to Ric Flair. Maybe.
Now, see, for me, a tie at number 5 is every promo the Ultimate Warrior ever did. Mainly because none of that shit made any sense. But as a little kid, cohesion. I sat there like this. All day.
As a kid, you're like, this is the best thing I've ever seen. As an adult, you're like, this is the most cocaine I've ever seen.
Oh, man.
Never forget, man.
It's Never funny. Forget. I remember hearing, like, as a teenager, that I remember hearing that the Ultimate Warrior, like the dude that was the Ultimate Warrior, is like, get a lot of coke, right? And then I remember going back in like my 20s, and I forgot, like they did some kind of flashback on WWE or something. They were talking about Ultimate Warrior, and they were showing one of his promos, and I was like,
oh, he's fucking
nonsense.
Complete
fucking nonsense.
That motherfucker is glassed right now. He is tasting shapes. He is fucking
he's straight up looking into the camera talking about the mothership and with the rocket and the warriors. And what the did you just say?
Never forget, they once accidentally found a little bit of blood in Jim Hellwig's cocaine system.
Oh man, I'm just imagining Vince like sitting off to the side like, did you write those words for that motherfucker? Like, I ain't Bruce Pitcherson. I didn't write a damn thing. just let him go.
Carol Briscoe is like, Vince, he is gone out of his mind. Vince is like, keep the camera rolling.
This kid's money.
God damn it.
Oh man. Like, yeah, like don't get me wrong. Like yeah. So speaking of promos that made me laugh.
Yes.
The match we're about to talk about coming up had a promo this week on Monday Night Raw that put me on the floor. For the first time in a while, Maurice just put me on the floor, and she didn't even open her mouth. She didn't at all. But then again, though, if Beth Phoenix looked at me and told me she was going to break me, there's not much I would do either other than just walk away.
This new Beth Phoenix is a lot scarier. We know we take away the Wonder Woman, we add in a little bit of Joan Jett. Now we have this new Beth Phoenix. I like it.
Oh man. And she just, man, like on that mic, like she ain't gold like The Rock. Like she ain't gonna throw out a quick soliloquy, but she was straight and to the point. You interfered in my husband's match. So on Sunday, I was gonna have to give it to you. And I was gonna give it to you good.
It's right.
Oh man, right, but that wasn't the funny part. Tell them about the funny part.
No. You said it funnier. I want you to say it. I like the way you said it.
So okay. So Miz comes out after Beth Phoenix and Edge have their little soliloquy in the ring. Miz comes out and Miz starts talking shit about to Edge, talking about who needs to use his wife to win matches, and the crowd's chanting like you. But Maurice is standing there with her. So he puts over Maurice, plays this video with Maurice in it, like hyping her up and talking about how they gonna beat Edge and Beth Phoenix at the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
And so Beth Phoenix calls out Maurice, and like I just said, basically tells her, I'm gonna break you in this ring on Sunday. And so Miz proceeds to go off on this, pardon me for using this word for the fifth time, soliloquy. And hyping up.
That's what it is, though.
Yeah. Introducing and hyping up Maurice, and basically talking about how Maurice is gonna get in the ring and show Beth Phoenix what's up and that and all this stuff. And you just see Maurice standing behind him, twiddling her fingers like, and then finally, like as Miz is telling Beth Phoenix that his wife is gonna kick her ass and how she should tell her how she's gonna kick her ass in the ring, Maurice just and hightails it right on out. And Miz turns around, tell him, Maurice. Like, where the fuck you go?
I like to imagine it was a cartoon, like a cloud silhouette of Maurice behind him.
Oh man.
Long fucking gone.
Oh, it's hilarious to me, man. Like it was hilarious to me, and it was a great segment that sets up their match at Royal Rumble. And so like I can't say enough how much I'm looking forward to this, primarily just because I've always wanted to see Edge and Beth Phoenix on the
Work
same
like this.
team in the ring together. Yeah, like work and acknowledge like their relationship, you know, and their marriage,
Exactly.
etc.
No, Edge has made on part of his a huge part of Edge's career is working with whoever he's been in a relationship with, and then also his work with Kelly. Kelly, in my opinion, was way too fucking good to be ignored.
Yeah, very much so.
Like Edge, in a lot of ways, has made a career out of being an intergender type of wrestler, whether it be taking advantage of those women to help them in his matches, or in cases like these. Now, like, this is so fucking cool because for a long time now, for I think over a decade, has it been over a decade that him and Beth have been married now.
Yeah, because she was married. They were either together or married before he retired.
Yeah, so it has to be. They've been together for over a decade now, and for me, it makes more sense than any other that he's with Beth Phoenix in a ring like this.
Yep.
And I'm too big of a mark for the Miz to not fucking love this. I love the Miz and I fucking love Edge, so I'm gonna eat this up. And you know, even if this takes away from Edge's like few shots that he has to fight the younger people, I kind of like this. I like this a lot. And you know, as long as this isn't the feud for the next 7 months, I like this.
Well, I'll say, okay, so one more thought on the match before we move on to the first title match. Somebody said now that Corey Graves is, I was reading on Facebook, somebody said now that Corey Graves is cleared, that him and Carmella should show up and try to interfere in the match.
I was going to say that would be pretty funny. That'd be pretty funny. I make fun of Corey Graves and Bray Wyatt a lot. Like not in this is completely all in good fun. I'm not actually hateful towards them in any way, shape, or form, but I make fun of them and I make a lot of fucking jokes about the fact that Bray Wyatt and fucking Corey Graves have both left their families for two women that are equally fucking indispensable, and it's fucking hilarious. Between fucking JoJo and Carmella.
Yeah, who left their family? Oh, Bray Wyatt did, huh?
Bray Wyatt left his family for JoJo.
I forgot about that.
Years ago. And then Corey Graves left his family for fucking Carmella, which is hilarious. I'm sorry.
You know, I've heard multiple times, and I've witnessed the relationship with somebody who was wrestling and on the road and had a girlfriend and came home to her. Sometimes she went with them to his shows, but he came home to her. Yeah, it's a rough life. And so, like, I always see it as it's easier to be with somebody who is in the same profession as you when it comes to being a professional wrestler. It's not that it's impossible to be with a wrestler. You know, it's just that it's easier if both of you are working for, you know, professional wrestling, because then you're both working similar schedules. And, you know, you appreciate the times you see each other, but you're not always together, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But that's one thing I do like about, that's one thing I do like about WWE is WWE tries their best to keep couples on the same show.
They capitalize on that as best they can. And honestly, I'll take that. I like it.
So, all right. So now we can move on to what should be an amazing match.
I'm into this.
Between two brothers that have been, I think we've seen this match before, but it's been so long since we've seen this match that, this is going to be an epic one. Yeah. And that is the Universal Championship match featuring the Universal Champion, my head of the table, my tribal chief. I acknowledge him. Roman Reigns taking on the architect, the Messiah, the missionary. What is he now?
Seth. Drip God, is that what's going on still?
Yeah, the drip God.
Drip God's still going on. I like that too.
Seth freaking Rollins for the Universal Championship. Oh, just this match alone, like, will be worth whatever money is put out of my $9.99 subscription towards the premium live event. They are no longer pay-per-views. It is now a premium live event.
Premium live event. God damn it. Try to censor the word pay-per-view even, god damn it.
No, I think what Vince is trying to do is separate his product from everybody else's. Everybody else puts on pay-per-views. His company puts on premium live events.
Mine are special, damn it. But to get into it, though, I'm really excited for this match, actually. And I don't care what anybody says. The setup being Seth Rollins knocking on Roman's door in the tune of the fucking Shield theme was the fucking best. That shit had me dying. Fucking pissing myself. That shit was great. That was great. I don't care what fucking else happens. If the rest of the program is as funny as that fucking moment, I don't care how long this goes on. I will eat this shit up because that was great.
I'll put it to you like
fucking
this.
Great.
The best part to me was the fact, and this is what made the segment amazing. Neither one of them said a goddamn thing.
I was gonna say they didn't.
Seth just walked in, looked at him, and started laughing, and I was just like, okay, that was cool. And then they pan back to Roman, and he's like,
I mean, for what it's worth, though, they conveyed everything they needed to without saying shit. And that is masterful.
Masterful is the right word.
You can tell without any words, you can tell Seth Rollins is antagonizing the shit out of Roman. And that's all you need to know. And it's great.
He's like, I told you. I told you. Yeah, like that match, I think is going to bring the house down. Those two can work with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, big time.
Absolutely. I think it should be unsaid how good of a match it's going to be. Not even including the amazing melding of characters we've never seen before with this new heel Seth Rollins, where he's not exactly malicious. He's just very in your face and showboaty. And this new Roman Reigns, who, don't ever forget, kids, faith and fulfillment and happiness is not attained through relationships or life goals. It is attained through acknowledging Roman Reigns as the head of the table.
Oh, that's great.
That being said, this match is going to be fucking great. They always have great chemistry together. They always come up with good spots. And with Roman always cutting out the time that he does for his matches now, I think this match is going to be a fucking banger, and I think it's going to be a great story.
Hell yeah. 100%. And you know, the one thing that I've heard, and this will kind of be the last part that we drop on that before we get to the final match, I've actually heard that there's a very, very good chance that Seth Rollins could be taking the Universal title from Roman Reigns.
Imagine if this whole program wasn't to build a face to topple down Roman, but to build a proper heel to topple Roman. And honestly, with the setup of where they're going, with Brock going heel and Roman going kind of face, I think it's possible. I think we can easily fucking see that.
And they're saying he could drop it, or they're saying that. But I believe if he drops it, then that may mean Lesnar is going to keep the WWE title
over Lashley, because it wouldn't make sense to be setting up Lashley versus Reigns. Because if Reigns loses the title, he's going into the WWE Championship picture. There's no way that Reigns loses the title and doesn't immediately go into the next main event picture.
Right. Exactly. So, which, by the way, he's already hit the 500-day mark, and I believe Brock's reign was only 503, so he'll have fully surpassed Brock's number. Yeah, Brock's reign of terror. And actually, sorry, Brock, like, your Universal title run was great and all, but Roman's been here damn near every week.
Yeah.
Roman's defended at every pay-per-view. You know,
all the difference.
His run sits a little bit higher than yours, not just by length, but by quality, because he actually was here and turning out bangers, and actually, and committing and committing to feuds instead of every once in a while. So
absolutely cannot be understated enough. Roman's attention to detail with his feuds into every spot, and the fact that he's cut out a serious amount of time, making sure that nobody else does the same spots as him, even telling his own fucking cousin, you don't get your table spot because I'm doing the table spot tonight and we have to keep that for my match. And say what you will about the selfishness of that, but that made the table spot more impactful.
Yeah.
It made the product better because Roman has a better eye for that, and that's made all the fucking difference.
Sure. Even though, congratulations, real quick, before we switch topics, to the Usos for using the 3D twice in the same week.
I fucking marked
3D,
out. I marked
baby.
Fuck out. Because of course, if I'm not mistaken, was it the Usos who retired Dudleys?
I want to say yeah, but I know that Devon has come out publicly and said that, like, and so has Bubba Ray, said that, like, they're all about, like, them using the move, like they see it as a sign of respect.
Absolutely.
You know,
but I do get shades of their 2015 feud. That was dope.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so final match of the night. And let me say this. I think we said this on the last episode when we talked day one. I'm loving this new Brock character.
I fucking love this new Brock.
And it was epitomized in in the segment on SmackDown with him and Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
I'm loving that triangle they got going on there.
I love this whole thing they got going on.
And then 2 on Monday night in his promo with Bobby Lashley. Like, I like this new Brock. Like that's all I can really say about it. Like, going into Royal Rumble, like, I'm kind of rooting for him. Like, no offense, Bobby. Like, I would love to see you win the belt back, but I'm kind of rooting for Brock. Like just because dude's funny now. You know, like, dude's got some personality.
Like, I'm not joking when I say, like, Hacksaw Jim Brocken is the biggest face right now.
Oh, yes. Hacksaw Jim Brocken.
The biggest face.
Like, tell me, like, even going.
No. You go first. I want to go ahead.
I was gonna say, even though the crowd really didn't react a lot to it, when he told Bobby, like, who are you? Like, I was just like,
oof.
Oh.
Because
like, he's I think,
okay, look, there's a lot of nuance to that, and that's the best fucking part.
Yeah.
As you know. Okay, first off, I want to say I'm so fucking hyped for this match. Not just because Brock is probably at the best he's been since 2002. Like, right now, this is the best Brock has been since his fucking debut, bar none.
Yeah.
I'm not just excited for that. I have been, like, frothing out the fucking mouth for Lashley versus Lesnar. Like, a lot of people, especially MMA marks like me, I want to see this match. I want to see this match. I want to see this in pro wrestling. I want to see this in a fucking cage like Joe and fucking Angle.
I was just thinking about that. I was like, oh, I would love to see that.
Exactly. Like, I want to see these dudes duke it the fuck out. I want them to be given all the time to do it. I've been waiting for this match for a long time. But the nuance of that right there is, of course, that Lashley signed with the WWE with the clause, not that he wanted a title run or a monster push or monster heel run, but that he just got a match with Lesnar. That was one of his clauses.
Nice.
And just the fact that everybody knows that was one of his clauses, and Brock hits him with the "Who are you?" That's cannonball to the chest. So like, fucking Brock, good.
And I love the way, like, Brock laid it out. Like, Brock's like, yeah, man, like, I was winning championships. Like, not just here, like around the world, I was winning championships. Like, maybe if you had been on my level, I would have saw you by now. Like, I was like,
fuck.
I was like, and then the brain starts ticking. And I hate to say this, and this is why 40 years into wrestling fandom, like, it kind of sucks. Like, because my brain automatically goes to shit like this. Like, did somebody write that for Brock? Or is Brock just like just shooting from the hip? Like
hey, Brock was talking, the way, like, you can tell how natural it all is. I can easily believe that he's one of the people that's not scripted.
Yeah.
Just with how natural he's rolling with it. And that promo exactly was a huge fucking example of that. Because for the first time, Brock wasn't, I don't know, something wasn't, it was so natural. It felt like fucking, like, coming straight out of Brock's head, actually.
And man, I tell you, like I said, I can't wait to see what the in-ring product is going to be. Like, Lashley and Brock Lesnar are beasts in the ring. Both of them know how to put on a match. I think Brock's gonna sell a little bit for Bobby.
Oh yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, Brock Lesnar is gonna come out with the belt. Like
Don't
I said, I
forget, when
think for
Brock
some odd
sells,
reason
he sells though.
yeah. For some odd reason, I think we're looking, like we said, at Reigns Lesnar for the WWE title at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to see that only because of the consistency we've seen it at.
Yeah.
I am interested to see it with the new characters though. But
well, remember, we technically never got a second Lesnar Reigns match. We got the first one at Crown Jewel. Royal Rumble was supposed to be the second
this set, of this set.
Yeah, of this set. And so technically this would only be the second match in there. This would be the rubber match.
That's true. That is true. That is true. That is true.
But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe we'll get it sooner than that. Who knows?
We'll see. I'm excited to see it nonetheless, though.
Yeah, for sure. Just like I'm excited to see our next episode. When we will be talking pretty much all things Marvel. We'll be touching on except for one DC thing. We will probably be talking about Naomi, brand new superhero created or brought up on the CW. If it's as good as Black Lightning was, I'm here for it.
I'm fucking take it.
And then what else was it? And then we're going to talk Shang-Chi. We're going to talk Eternals. Just to reach back into the past and grab some Marvel movies that we didn't get a chance to talk about back then.
Right.
And we'll be talking about where we think the Marvel universe is going forward. That'll all be next week. So, Mr. Alpha, as always, sir, use that sultry voice to take us home.
Mm-hmm. You know how it goes, my people. Thank you so much for enjoying our show with us today. We're talking some fucking wrestling with us. We're going to be back once again next week to talk some DC and some Marvel. But we'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming at that point. Thank you and peace.